subscribe to my channels.
What's up, Fish Vibes people? Donald Fish Vibes here. Guys, it's the last time I posted on YouTube, I was checking it, March 2nd, 2024. Yeah, I haven't been posting a little bit. For no particular reason. Well, probably for a reason. So I was working on a project. I think I've mentioned I've been doing a project. I was even looking back at some of the the recordings I did for that project. Actually, it's a building. Started in April 2022 and finished. Well, the structure was finished probably late last year, the main structure, and then the fine work started, which takes time. Substantial fine work was finished probably about June this year, and well, everything else to get it ready was finished in about down to cleaning out, say September 2024. So that's what, like 2 years, 6 months. Main structure, a year and something, year and three quarters. So yeah, it was a real interesting experience, I must say. It was a journey. I was actually looking back at a lot of the recordings recently, even up to last night, Christmas night. Today's Boxing Day, by the way, if I didn't mention that. Happy holidays to all those who celebrate Christmas, Boxing Day, and well, all the best for 2025. So what am I thinking? I'm thinking about actually placing this footage with that whole building experience. So let me tell you how that will go. I'm contemplating opening a separate channel to deal with that particular project. Most of the commentary during the process really involved me mentioning, my main channel here, Donald Fish Vibes. So, of course, I may very well just upload it at this profile. And thinking about it, to open a separate channel for that. So I did 18, for want of a better word, episodes. Of course, it's 18 merged in a number of different days would make up one, so I recorded the process. But I will say it is it was a highly emotional, controversial, exciting, rewarding experience. So I'll use a lot of varying adjectives. I don't know how many people who would see this video would have, done a process like that. But let me tell you, I was even watching back the videos, as I said recently, and I was saying to myself, it really had some good experiences through the process, but it came to a part where it was challenging, to say the least. And but one thing I insisted is that the project has to finish. It did go over budget. Whether it was reasonably over budget or not, whether the value it ended up being in terms of the cost to spend versus what the value is, whether I gained there or not. Those are things I haven't actually gone in depth into from a thought process. And the truth is, I may not even mention some of those types of valuations, etc. in the videos. Who knows, I probably will. But what I will say, it was a hell of a learning experience, and coming out of it, I'm all the better for it. I know a lot more about that kind of thing. I have friends who would have done that kind of initiative, one in particular, he would have, I think the last time I spoke to him, he told me he was on project number 7. You know what he did tell me is that he didn't want to recommend anybody from who he used. He said the first 3 or 4 projects he did using 4 different contractors, and he said he won't recommend any one of them, and he now does it for himself, and that's the key. He learned a lot through the process, to the point where he manages his project. I never actually saw one of his completed projects, but I take him at his word, and he's an excellent businessman. He owns a lot of businesses, so I take it at his word in terms of his ability to do it for himself. And I mean, after 3 or 4 projects, and when he talks about the kind of savings he made, which obviously is the money that he doesn't have to pay a contractor, and then obviously when you have your contractor engaging in materials and that kind of thing, the benefits of probably managing that for yourself, you're going to get a lot of savings, trust me. I did 18 episodes, and I stopped at a particular point in this process because the quality of the videos started to become more argumentative, more controversial. The experience was not as rewarding as it started off. There may be some of the episodes I won't even post, but I do have it, documented. But the end of the whole thing was rewarding, right? So what I will say is, if you're doing something like this, and you're able to get through the whole process and complete your project, which is key, it will be rewarding. Of course, there are some people, they start something like this, they may not finish it, so I could only imagine the kind of stress they go through. And for those of us who work real hard for what we have, there's nothing about easy money coming. So every dollar is important, because it's not a dollar you could replace by just doing some random easy, whether illegal or legal, kind of action to get money to finish a project like this. There's an associate that I am aware of, through a friend who is, well, I guess currently working on a project, a big project. My project is really more commercial driven. Their project is more personal, residential. And let me tell you, when I listen to some of the things that my friend mentions to me, I really feel sad for the person. But the person is in good spirits, and that's important. But for me, I know the person would have worked hard using their own skills. I won't say who the person is, to generate income. A talented individual, and because of, I guess, the commitment that he has to his trade, he never had the kind of quality time to invest in managing the project directly. And I guess he didn't have somebody he figured he could have put to do it outside of personal family members. And boy, his project probably started in about 2019. In 2024, it's nowhere completed. And what he still has to do, trust me, he hasn't spent money yet. So it's very frightening. Enough of that though. As I said, you will see what I do in terms of whether it's a separate channel or whether it's my same Donald Fish Rides channel. I still have fish, by the way, guys. I'll do another one on that at another time. Ciao.
Subscribe to my channels.